welcome to another installment of Metallic Reviews, the show where I take an honest look at the harder, heavier side of music and give it an honest rating. Today, we jump into a scene that, frankly, doesn't get a whole lot of coverage. I speak, namely, of the Australian black metal one. Yeah, we're going a little off the beaten path here today, folks. To be more specific, it's one-man project Woods of Desolation and their new album, The Falling Tide, out December 9th on Season of Mist Underground Activists. Now, it's true that there's only one guy on here that's credited for anything, and he goes by the stage name of D. That's probably about as minimalist in black metal as you can get. He's also the architect of three other one-man black metal projects, Forest Mysticism, Ramit, and Unfelled. Beyond all that, D also owns his own small label by which he releases a lot of his music. So yeah, we're dealing with someone who is really kind of old school in terms of distribution, creative control, and things like that. But in any case, guys, there's no vocalist that receives any credit on here. So that does remain a mystery. But enough of my rambling. Let's see what Australia has to offer the black metal world, shall we? Now, right out of the gate, the most noticeable thing here is really just how well produced this album is. D also handles production on here, and I've got to give him massive props on this. Yeah, I know about how black metal is supposed to be recorded on a tape recorder that's been smashed and put through a dishwasher, but as the genre has modernized, we've heard it become so much more polished, and it's been so refreshing to hear just how much better it can sound when given that kind of treatment. And this is no exception. Nothing overpowers anything else. The vocals are crystal, they're really, really clear, and the mix is built with an ear toward the wall of sound technique, which is something that I appreciate very, very much. Considering that this is music leaning heavily in the post-black metal or even blackgaze direction, that just makes it all the more immersive. In terms of songwriting, there's a lot of melancholic beauty to be found here. Some old school black metal fans might find it a bit off-putting, and yeah, I can kind of understand where they're coming from considering that way of thinking, but I honestly do believe that there is room for this even within that world. Tremolo picking doesn't really take center stage here, but it finds a home high up in the mix, and there's a really underlying segment of just these beautiful keys and this expert bass work that's it's really nice. Well-placed musical singularities combine to form this collective mass that, instead of grating on the ears, moves the soul toward what the lyrical content might be. Now, as of this recording, the Metal Archives only has lyrics for the title track. But that said, if the rest of the album's poetry is as fantastic as the title tracks is, then you're in for one heck of a ride. I also do enjoy how the album isn't afraid of taking moments to breathe. There are so many black metal outfits that are trying to be the next Darkthrone or Immortal that they forget to appreciate the quieter moments. This album, on the other hand, is one that is sheer in its approach, yet it allows for times where the listener can just take a break. Instead of having to climb this cliff of music that's nearly impossible, it's like taking a nice hike through a misty bit of forest with ample sections to stop, breathe, enjoy the scenery, and just kind of take it all in. I would say this is actually probably the record's biggest strength, and it's nice to have black metal that has an appreciation for such things. Now, the best tracks on here are definitely the aforementioned title track and album opener, Far From Here. While none of the songs here are bad in any way, shape, or form, these stand out a little bit more. They have a way of pushing and pulling at the listener, with musical maelstroms kind of matching up with these sequential moments of beauty and, again, solitude, and those sections where you can just kind of appreciate it. I also enjoy the track Illumination, which gave a little more of this, though, in a bit of a shorter form. Again, none of the songs here are categorically bad at all, but these three offer just a little bit more than the others did. In terms of negatives, I will say this: the album is too short. And for me, that's saying something. At 36 minutes, this is a bit of a post-metal sprint rather than the marathons we're all used to from this genre. I'd like to have this be at least 45, or I could even go for something over 50. An hour might be pushing it a little bit, but with songwriting this tight, I couldn't complain. The only other negative I have is that it does lean a little towards repetition towards the end of the album. But again, the writing and production here are just so fascinating that I can't really complain. Overall, this one-man post-black metal project from Australia has released a very solid, well-written, well-executed album. There are a couple tweaks I would like to have seen, but I don't have many complaints. This is definitely one to check out if you're looking for black metal that pushes in the melancholic, atmospheric, and immersive direction. I'm giving it a very, very strong 4 out of 5. Thanks so much for watching. Click like and don't forget to subscribe for more weekly metallic reviews, but little bit of a caveat to that statement. We have come to the end, my friends. Yes, this is the final review of 2022. Now, don't worry, though, because I'm not done posting yet. Now you get back-to-back weeks of list videos. Starting next week, I will be revealing my best and worst of this year. We're going to get the bad news out of the way first, though. So next time, we'll be diving into my 10 worst albums of 2022. I hope you'll join me. You've been watching Metallic Reviews, where I give honest ratings to honest music. And I will see y'all next time.